trying here. And we got, if I'm not mistaken, we got not all wings, but all
4 out of 5 at least.
I mean, most of the Naxxramas cards are going to be seen. And we got the Voria. I think it's really, really strong, especially if you're expecting to face a Hunter first.
Yep, but apparently it's a Rogue. And we already saw the Sludge Belcher, we see Unstable Ghoul, so I think Ek0p should have an advantage in this one.
Well, he has a great line of Doom, but it all comes down how Zadkiel is playing his Miracle or his Backspace Rogue. We do not know by now. If he plays his Miracle with double sap and he gets a really early draw where he can deny Ek0p or throwing out armor smisses and everything, and if Ek0p even gets any armor smisses, look at this. There's even a Nubar ambusher in Zadkiel's hand.
Yep, that's something we see more and more nowadays in the Miracle Rogues. At least I experienced some in the ladder.
You experienced some in Nubar ambushes in the ladder?
Yep.
I haven't seen a single one, I have to admit. I'm pretty surprised.
I played against 3 or 4. Like,
wow.
different.
I like the card. It can be really funny. I just love to have a... Yeah, I mean, it's a 4/5 minion. It's a 5/5 minion for 4. So if you're not able to execute Shield Slam it in any way, that's just 5 damage facing you from turn 4 on. It can be really, really nasty. I mean, it can also backfire if it brings you back, like your Auctioneer back in hand, because he could kill your minion and you have to play Auctioneer again.
If you get, for example, an Earthen Ring Farseer back or an SI7 agent, like a lot of those Rogues cards actually synergize very well with the card.
I definitely know what you mean, and I used to play him when he was new, and now, well, we're going to see him, and maybe he works out. I mean, it's already good what there's out for Zadkiel. I mean, Acolyte of Pain is the only thing Ek0p can do, and then his follow-up would be coin out Sludge Belcher. But if you're facing a Nubar ambusher, would you coin out a Sludge Belcher? I would say no.
No, most likely not.
So Ek0p's decision is going now into either Shield Block or the Acolyte of Pain. Well, I think that's okay going for it. He wants to play something with Acolyte of Pain together to draw any cards, but one of his Unstable Ghouls is already gone. So combo potential minimized. Do you think that could backfire?
Oh, this is really rough for Ek0p right now. Like 3/3 and a 5/5 on the board, and he has no means to clear it right now.
I mean, it would be perfect if Ek0p had any kind of Cruel Taskmaster where he can just execute the Nubar, bring him back as SI7 agent.
Yes, the Unstable Ghoul.
Yeah.
And he plays in combination with Acolyte of Pain, so he knows that he will get card draw out of it, especially with the passive of the Unstable Ghoul.
And now well, if there is a sap, it would actually be a consideration to just sap away the Acolyte of Pain or the Unstable Ghoul just to get rid of additional card draw. What you really want to do is already deal some damage, I would say. There's like the option either trade your Nubar in. Oh, now he can even go for a 3 damage backstab and get rid of the card draw.
I would go for that one.
The problem is your Azudrake is getting damage also, what I don't like. But I think it's still great. I mean, you can go Azudrake, backstab, and then you're still you're like able to trade and deal 5 damage in the face. So everyone gets a damage point, that sucks. And if he executes your Anubar, you could get stuff back in hand. It's still great.
That's what he's going to do. He's just gonna execute the 5/5.
And that's still great. I love it, how Zadkiel played it. He can just attack with his SI7 agent in and then Anubar the face. It's pretty cool. And
he gets rid of the armor. And the problem is, like, Ek0p sort of wants to play the Belcher or play something in combination with the execute, but he really has to execute an armor up. And so far, there are no other options for him.
That one might have been smart. He went for the attack with Anubar in case there is a whirlwind or something to not drop to 1 HP. And now we see that execute bringing back the Azudrake. And in the end, that wasn't worse. That's to some extent good because you're just going to draw another card. If you're not going for your Auctioneer, just like play in Auctioneer mode. But you're definitely able to draw a card.
The problem for Zadkiel here is that he really doesn't have any spells, so he's forced into playing another Azudrake, which is okay because it basically gives Ek0p time. And time is what really benefits the Control Warrior matchup.
Yeah, but look at this. He could go for the Azudrake and Kopla, which was a really, really nice redraw here. I mean, you saw, he seems to have some trouble to get rid of your stuff. You haven't seen any weapons. He used an execute. He has no armor, so you could definitely go for something like Auctioneer and a Copeland, or yeah, Auctioneer and Copeland, and just deal an amazing amount of damage already, like slowly peel him down.
Yep. And it doesn't bring him like too low, so it's fine. Like, I mean, 21 is a good reach for him with his miracle combo.
Yeah, sure. But Ek0p is far from dead. I mean, there's still a Sludge Belcher, one more turn, and he already has his Gore Howl. I like his hand, though. If he manages to survive, he has some really good means in the late game to do something.
I mean, he has a Gore Howl. He has all his late game on his hand already. Didn't draw into the Cairn, though. But you wouldn't have been able to play it anyways, because it's too slow in this situation. He needed to play Sludge Belcher right now.
Yeah.
And let's see how Zadkiel can actually play around it. I mean, he has a Selfless Execute, which is perfect.
There, you mean Selfless Eviscerate.
Eviscerate.
but it works like an Execute, so you definitely get rid of the Sludge Belcher, and it gives you a card. And you even draw an SA7 agent, which is so amazing. So you just get rid of the Slime, and you can deal 11 damage, plus a sap for the next turn. This is just looking so good for Zadkiel. And Ek0p is just shaking his head already the whole game. Yeah, that's GG. His draw is really bad. If you no Fiery War Axe, just Druid in this match and try to defeat Zadkiel's Miracle Rogue. And the Anubar definitely paid out in this matchup. And even in this matchup, even more. If you can coin him out relatively early against a Yeti or something, he's just a great threat.
Yeah, and I mean, Zadkiel goes second, which is super strong for him.
Oh, it's token. Or some kind of token.
Sort of token. I mean, most of the druids we see are token nowadays.
Or tokeny. I mean, with Echoing Ooze, you can get a lot of minions early on the board, and with a 100 Creeper too, so you could do like, with an Echoing Ooze and a 100 Creeper, you could already do a 4 minion, like if your 100 Creeper dies, a 4 minion roar, turn 3, turn 4, which would be absolutely devastating. There are like some great options.
Squire opening, not really surprising, but we already see the Ambusher in the hand, on the hand of Zadkiel.
And there's also SA7 agent, exactly what you want to have if you're facing. Oh, the coin.
Interesting.
Van Cleave is also possible. And for Ek0p, it's like, again,
really bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's really bad.
Okay, he can innervate out his Azure Drake to follow up with the Power of the Wild on those 2 minions if he wants to go for it. So, yeah, it's bad, but it could be worse.
Question is he going to...
Coin Van Cleave?
No, weapon up, attack the Squire once, and then next turn coin out the Ambusher. I really like that play.
The really
because
good
then you can get rid of the Squire, and you have a 5/5 out.
And you can kill the Violet Teacher like that.
You can kill
almost
everything that the Druid throws out.
Yeah. I actually like that play. It looks pretty interesting. And the problem is if you coin out your Van Cleave now, it just gets rest and dies, and your turn 3 play would be only weapon up or no value as a 7 agent. So in the end, it seems to be better to just weapon up. It looks like, no, Zadkiel chooses to have his Van Cleave out here. I mean, 4/4 Van Cleave is always a threat.
Puts a lot of pressure onto the board.
I mean, especially what does Ek0p don't want to do? He could innervate out his Azure Drake now, but then you're definitely facing the Van Cleave. So I guess he's just going to taunt up his Druid of the Claw, which is good, but if there's a backstep draw for Zadkiel, that would be so perfect. No. Eviscerate, oh man, if he had only 1 mana more, that would already be 5 damage Eviscerate, so close.
Yeah.
1 damage of killing stupid Druid of the Claw. And now...
Sort of has to go...
Well, he could just weapon up.
Yeah.
And next turn go for a no value conceal with SA7 agent, for example.
Exactly. He needs to weapon up.
But weapon up makes it like he needs to go more versatile to have the option.
I don't think that Ek0p would have played the Druid of the Claw as taunt if he didn't throw out the Van Cleave.
Sure, then he would have gone for the Azure Drake, 100%.
Exactly, and then you could have countered it with an Ambusher.
Yeah, sure. He could have absolutely went the other way around. Oh, I like that play. That play is so cool. He conceals his 2 minions. The only problem for Zadkiel next turn is he needs a trigger. Like, he needs a trigger for his Eviscerate. By now, he could only do a 3 damage Eviscerate. So if he gets a Shiv, like Shiv Evis next turn,
That would be
so
perfect.
strong. Especially if Ek0p makes a +1/+1, or if he's going for the 3/2. If he makes a +1/+1,
He needs to go for the +1/+1 because it's just too risky with a concealed Cellness that you run into a Fan of Knights, for example.
Oh, now let's see what there's going to be top deck for Zadkiel. I mean, Ek0p's play was rather obvious, as you say, and for Zadkiel, that could be so many stuff. I mean, only a backstab would be really amazing too, but he needs a spell to trigger his minion. No preparation, so he can even drop more. How good is this guy?
He could go for Prep Eviscerate. Prep Eviscerate, SI7.
Yeah, Prep Eviscerate SI7. And just get rid of everything on the board if he wants to trade in his Cellness and his Van Cleef for the card draw, or just deal 4 damage to the face. But that was so amazing. Like 5 damage and the SI7 agent. I loved it. That Conceal had so much value in the end. And Lothap, next turn.
I don't think you should... Okay.
You should trade?
Never mind. Yep.
I think, like, why not? What's the downside from it? If he has a swipe, he cannot clear bows, whatever happens. So, yeah, you could have done the damage, but you'd rather kill it before Mark of the Wild, for example. There's maybe 1 Mark of the Wild in, and then he just buffs it up and is annoying.
He had a Shiv for that. Like, if he Mark of the Wilds and runs into the SI7 agent, and you deny 2 mana, I don't know.
Okay,
I think it's definitely a viable play, though.
Would you go for the Lothap now? Like, to avoid any kind of swipe, Raz, Force of Nature, maybe next turn to clear? You could just go for a Lothap and then trade in, and then not even trade. Like, next, if you play Lothap now, you definitely go for the face, since what does he want to do except playing a minion?
There's nothing he could play.
Exactly. And that's why I wouldn't have traded there. Even a Raz wasn't possible. So leaving the dragon alive is okay. And you could have just killed it now. If he trades into your SI7 agent, you just shiv it now. So there was no reason in the end to go for it. Oh, he has shiv, Evis, weapon up, kill the squire if he wants to go for it.
I mean, he's slowly running out of cards, but he has a potent board.
I actually like the Anubar more with the Eviscerate. If you get Lothap back in hand, that's actually pretty cool, since you can, with Lothap, play him again to deny him spells.
Better board.
It's risky, though. So if he has the Raz and kills your... Well, he cannot kill your Anubar if he's not willing to face attack, additionally. So, yeah, I would Anubar and then Eviscerate.
Yep, I completely agree.
I like that one so much. I mean, you can deal 8 damage to the face, and you would, in theory, have 13 damage on the board next turn. Wow. That's, like, amazing. And Ek0p is not having good games here, I get the feeling. Like, it's getting dominated by the Murka Rogue. Oh, man. That and the bar again.
Oh, FaceTime.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Down to 21, and next turn, it would be only with the cards we see at the moment, 13, 16, 17 damage to deal. Is he going to Ancient of Lore and heal? I would heal myself instead of drawing 2 cards if I played the Ancient of Lore now. I mean, you see 13 damage on the board.
I think I would go for the Keeper.
Would you go for Keeper and Moonfire away the 3/3? No, he goes for Keeper and Raz. Yeah, sure. That makes way more sense than killing the 3/3, since you can kill the 3/3 like this too.
And I mean, he's not scared. Yeah, perfect. He gives Zadkiel his lower tap back, but he's not really afraid of the lower tap now because he has options on his hand and he doesn't want to unleash his big combo.
And that was a problem with, in general, playing the Anubar Ambusher. He could have gone safe with the Deadly Poison and the Shift play, or go a little bit riskier with playing his... Yeah, Anubar, and maybe backfires, maybe not. And it backfired. So that's rather annoying. He could go for Anubar again.
Cold Blood, most likely.
Anubar Cold Blood, sure. Wouldn't you maybe consider going for Lothap and trade into the Keeper of the Grove? I mean, Anubar Coldblood seems a bit. After he played safe, like with dropping minions out, it would have seemed to be a bit rushy.
Yeah. Could argue about it.
Although the funny part is he could play. He could, if he had an Earthen Ring Farseer next turn, he could play an Earthen Ring Farseer, run in his Anubar, and play the Earthen Ring Farseer again. That's actually pretty cool. Oh, there's a Mark of the Wild, by the way. So there is one in Ek0p's deck, and
I don't think that he will make use of it.
okay, Lothab. Would you go Lothab and the face now? He could also go for the Deadly Poison SI7 agent, Coldblood. Yeah, why not? That one sounds good. If you go for Deadly Poison SI7 Coldblood, you could deal 9 damage now. Like straight in the face. Aren't you with me?
I'm just thinking about the option like throwing your SI back again.
Throwing your SI back again.
It's not that valuable.
No.
Because he couldn't play it.
Exactly. You can play it again. That makes no sense in my opinion.
Problem is that Zadkiel really has no card draw mechanics right now, so he needs to sort of go for the race.
And that's why I would have gone for like the Deadly Poison play. I mean, you need a fear Force of Nature Roar, but if he has a Force of Nature Roar, you're at the moment surviving with 1 HP. So, yeah. In the end, that's the safest play since you deny him Force of Nature Roar with a Lothab. You get a good board out, and there's like literally nothing to do for Ek0p than just drop minions on the board and hope you survive. I mean, 21 HP against 8 damage on the board with potential 3 hand cards next turn, that could already be death.
1 Coldblood was played already, 2 Abyss, so... Oh,
was one...
Coldblood.
In that now, that's 10. In that, that's 10, 13,
13
18,
20.
21. Exactly. Yeah. That's GG
Lethal.
for Zadkiel.
Wow, that top deck.
Yeah, I was not amazed by the Leroy top deck since I first needed to count, but that's just GG. Ek0p losing the first game for Cloud9 and Zadkiel doing it for Planet Key. So we get a 2-0 here by Merca Rogue against
Interesting.
I mean, the counter deck Druid somehow if you go for Taunters.
Well, it was a token version though.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
I think the Control Warrior was more opted to counter it.
Yeah,
but obviously that